Welcome back. As the title suggests, this is a get ready with me, but I'm trying Notoriously Morbid's at 2 palette. I've had this palette on my desk for quite some time now. I forget what it retailed for. I think it was in the $50 or $60 range, but I'm not entirely certain. I'll have details down in the description. It's not available now, but I wanted to do a quick little get ready with me trying it out, to share the brand, share my experience with the brand. This is a brand that I've tried for like 6 years now, I think, basically since I started blogging. And I love the pressed palettes, spoiler alert. So I wanted to try out a few of the shadows in this palette and do a quick little get ready with me. It's not a quick little get ready with me. I'm hoping I can speed it up because so far the footage is 36 minutes. My camera actually cut out at one point because it only records in 30-minute increments, and luckily I caught that it had cut out. Murphy makes a feature 2 times. Once for messing with my tripod and making it shake, and once for scratching himself so vigorously that I'm pretty sure everyone in the neighborhood heard it. But yeah, if you want to see how I got this look and see close-ups of this look, keep on watching. Okay, so if I filmed the intro clip correctly, then we are hopping into the makeup. So I have prepped my skin, I have moisturized and SPF'd, but I've not primed. So I'm going to use a very old primer. This is the Tarte Clean Slate Timeless Smoothing Primer Base. I like to really work that into my skin. I think that it does a really good job at just smoothing out the skin, and it's really old. I'm not even sure if they sell it any longer. So for foundation, I'm going to use this very dirty NARS Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation. And I use the shade L1 Oslo. And I'm going to use I think this is an EcoTools sponge. This is just the sponge that I use for this particular foundation and for a couple other foundations. It's mostly clean, it's a little stained. So yeah, and I like to use the rounded side to dab on the foundation and then the flat side to blend it out. This particular foundation is a little bit on the natural side, and I do have some acne scarring, some active acne, and some general discoloration from my rosacea and some age spots. So I'm going to go in with a second layer in just those areas. Next, I'm going to use the Maybelline, I believe this is the Instant Ageless. It's a special edition Marvel concealer, but I think this is the Instant Ageless Rewind concealer, and this one is in shade 095 Cool Ivory, and I'm just going to use this under my eyes. I did go ahead and take what was left on my sponge and just covered up the darkness on the upper lid. Sorry, that was Murphy. So I'm going to I set my eyes with the Notoriously Morbid The End Finishing Powder. This is a loose setting powder, so I just shake it a little bit to get some in the top. And today I'm actually using a Notoriously Morbid brush. The brushes don't have numbers or names on them, so it's just this one. And since this has like a flatter edge, I just take that flat edge, and Murphy's playing with my tripod, sniffing it. This is the first time I'm using my full-size tripod rather than my desktop tripod, and he's very curious. Anyways, I use the flat edge of the brush and I pick up a little bit of product and brush it under my eyes. As you saw, any excess goes on top just to set that concealer so that I can have a base for eyeshadow. Next, to set the face, I'm going to use another Tarte product. This is the Shape Tape Setting Powder. It's also a little dirty. And I'm going to use that same flat brush from Notoriously Morbid. This has a sifter in it, so I just press hard into it and get a little bit of product out. I'm only going to set my cheeks and my jawline. I like to leave my forehead and my chin unset. So up until this point, this is my daily makeup routine, but specifically for this video, I'm trying out the Et Tu Notoriously Morbid palette. This is what it looks like. This is primarily purples and greens, which is not really my strong point, but I'm very interested in the pink and the purple. They look like duochromes in the pan, so I'm going to try and incorporate those in somewhere, and I'm going to try and do a look exclusively with this palette. I haven't swatched it or anything. This is entirely first impressions, and I did go ahead and do my face makeup because I wanted to see if it was going to have fallout. So this is a true first impressions. This came in quite some time ago and it's been sitting on my desk, and I meant to do a blog post about it, and I decided to do a YouTube video instead. So I have 5 brushes and 12 eyeshadows, so let's see what we can do. I think first I'm going to take this purple. It is Betrayal of Oath. It is vegan and lip safe. And I have a Sedona Lace EB13 brush. And I'm going to dust it all over my lid. Just by picking it up on my brush, it's very pigmented. It's picking up a lot of product, so I'm going to tap off a little bit just so that I can build up rather than have way too much product and have nowhere to go. That shade laid down beautifully, and I do not see any fallout in the mirror up close. So I'm going to take a clean brush. I'm going to take this Luxie 211 small tapered blending brush. There it goes. And I'm going to use the brown shade, this one right here. It is named Wormtail. It is also vegan and lip safe. And I'm going to just put it in the outer V just to add some depth and to warm it up some. I love the way this shadow laid on top of the purple. It didn't become muddy or disappear. It layered nicely, and it added a nice brown overlay and depth to it without becoming muddy or messy. Some browns that I have just either blend out or it just doesn't look good on top of a purple. Sometimes it becomes a bruise. So this applied very well. I'm torn between using the purple and the pink duochrome shades. These two right here. The purple is You Thought Someone Loved You, and the pink is Turkish Delight. Both are vegan and lip safe. But I think I'm going to go in with the purple and put it in my inner corner. And I'm going to use my finger for this, just because I know how this shade will perform based off of past Notoriously Morbid and similar duochrome shadows. And I know that a brush is not going to do this justice. That shade is stunning. I'm going to swatch it on my finger, and I'm going to swatch the pink just for fun, and this bluish green. These are super gorgeous duochromes. The blue is a little bit chunky. I'm going to swatch it on my hand just to see if the chunk comes out in the swatch. The chunkiness came out in like the first pass, but once I blended it a little bit with my finger and it warmed up with the warmth of my hand and my finger, it's amazing. And that's stunning. I'm totally blown away by those 3 shades in particular, and there are 4 other duochrome shades plus like a shimmery shade in here, so there are a ton of shades to work with. I'm going to take the purple on a clean blending brush just to clean up the edge on the top. My fingers are now covered in makeup, but I'm just going to blend out the top a little bit just to add a little bit of cleanliness to it. And I did not tell you what brush that was. That was a Luxie 231 small tapered blending. And because my under eyes are already done, I can go ahead and put my under eyeshadow on. And I'm going to go back in with that purple on the inner and middle of my under eye. And I'm using another Notoriously Morbid brush. This is just a flat top brush. And then I'm going to use that same brush with the brown on the outer third. But let's go ahead and finish this face look, I guess. This get ready with me. So for blush, I'm going to use the Pixie by Petra, the Fresh Face Blush in Ginger Blossom. I believe this came in the August Ipsy. This is it. And I'm using a very old Real Techniques by Samantha Chapman brush. It's a buffing brush. And the way I applied this blush in particular, because I have noted that it's very pigmented, is I stamp on the apple of either cheek with the blush itself, and then I start blending. For bronzer, I'm using what I've been using as a mirror today. It's the Ciate London Bamboo Bronzer in Palm Island. And I believe this came in a BoxyCharm, so I'll link that blog post below. I wasn't sure if I was going to keep this actually, and I tried it just on a whim because I liked the color in the swatch. And I think I put it in the blog post that I was going to try it a couple of times. I was going to keep it, and I just loved how it applied. And for a brush, I'm going to use a BH Cosmetics number 2, and this is, I forget which line this is. I used to be an affiliate for BH, so in old posts I had affiliate links, but I don't think I'm an affiliate any longer, or I haven't posted affiliate links in a super long time. Don't come for me for my bronzer application. I still don't know where to put it. I do have to blow a little bit of the bronzer off before I apply it. That's not because the bronzer is super pigmented, it's just because I'm super pale. I'm not going to set this just because I am not going to wear it for very long. So I'm going to work for maybe like 2 hours, and then I'm going to go work out. So I'm going to have to take my makeup off, so I don't want to set it and make it even more difficult to come off. If I was going to set it, I would use the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray, because that's basically all I use now. So for brows, I'm currently using Benefit's Precisely My Brow Pencil, and I'm using 3.5, or shade 3.5. Focus, focus, focus. So I'm going to use, this is a sample of a Wonder Beauty highlighter. This is the Wondrous Glow After Hours. And this is what it looks like. And recently, these like super creamy highlighters I've been preferring to use with a sponge. And so I'm using, this is a Sonia Kashuk from Target sponge, and you can see I just used this for highlighter yesterday, so I'm going to use the same side and apply a little bit of highlighter. And finally, for mascara, I'm still using this Shiseido Controlled Chaos Mascara ink. There it goes. This came in a sample, or this is a sample that came in a Hello bag, I believe. The wand is interesting. But it's almost dried out, and I'm really trying to use up things until they become empties. I'm working on a trash can for an empties video, and so far it's like deodorant and sunscreen. I'm trying to use up my makeup, so this is almost about to be in there. Finally, for lips, this is another NARS product. This is a sample of the Velvet Lip Glide in Bound. And this is just what I've been keeping upstairs next to my desk for if I have to hop on a call real quick, because it stays on for like a good couple of hours and then it just falls off, probably because I drink so much coffee and water. It is a glide, so it applies very smoothly and it feels really nice on, and I like this shade. It's basically My Lips But Better. And it doesn't dry down very like matte and uncomfortable. So yeah, this is the final look. Let's get to the close-ups. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you'll give it a like and subscribe and stick around, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.